They called him YY, but he wasn't just my brother or my family. He was part of the whole community. He would walk into a room and everyone was his friend. Everyone was his type. Everyone was special. The last Thursday night before he passed away, we did a WhatsApp call. I sang to him and I made like a dance. We're dancing together. I told him he should dance as well, and he started dancing. He was smiling away, and then the next day the carers did say that he's a bit unwell. They didn't know then if it was corona or not, but they did say he has the symptoms. It was like, YY's in hospital. Maybe we should go and visit him. Maybe we should go take him sing songs with him. Maybe it'll help him get better. Maybe we could do more things for him. But no, we couldn't get into the hospital. He was put into induced coma. They called from hospital saying there's not much time left, and so we asked them if we could call in at least, and they should put the phone near him. I don't know if he was able to hear us or know what we're saying. I'm like the singer of the family. He was always singing together with me. So when I called up, I was singing a song that says, in short, what the meaning of the words: when you go, you should go happy.
I don't know anyone who doesn't know someone who's died. We are a community in mourning. I think this virus has affected our community in a different way than it affects other communities because of the cohesive nature and the most amazing social networks that we have within it. And I think that should have been recognised by community leadership early on. And before everybody else needed to lock down, we should have locked down far earlier.
The number of deaths across the Jewish community has been way out of proportion to the number of Jews in this country. There are, according to the last census, 264,000 Jews in this country. That's less than 0.5%, and way more than 0.5% of the deaths in this country have been the Jewish community. I can't speculate properly on what the reason why is. I think that's something for epidemiologists. However, there's no doubt that getting together with people, with extended family, is part of what makes being a Jew, certainly for me, a pleasure. I don't think that's disappeared. It's transferred temporarily to online, and I'm sure it will come back, but it may have had a feature.
It did come very quickly at us, and we were having something like between 10 and 15 funerals a day for a period of about 2 to 3 weeks. I've never experienced this in my whole career. I've been here 40 years.
This is a tube or mask, so two ways obviously to get the oxygen. The idea was to lend out medical equipment from hospital beds if they need it, down to crutches. They come in here, they borrow it, use it for as long as they need to bring it back. All this that you see here was bought specially because of COVID, because of Corona. These are oxygen concentrators. At the height of the peak, our manager over here was here till literally all hours of day and night giving them out, and it did not look like this because there were very, very few in stock at the time. They were literally going out, and when they were coming back, they were going on to the next patient.
There have been weddings and other events in the community, some bigger, some smaller, some that made the news, some that haven't made the news. But there's a much bigger responsibility held by public health. It should have been obvious that our communities were going to be affected in a different way. Nobody took the step to say that these communities should be warned in advance. Nobody took control of the situation.
There are families who have every age group in the house. And that means you have little children all the way from 1 year old going to somebody in the house which is possibly 60 years old or above that age. That means that you have every age group in between, from teenagers to older people and younger people, all living in one household. And that did contribute towards, the virus being more aggressive in some parts of the community, unfortunately. In every community there are always this small handful of people who obviously don't obey the law. Unfortunately, in this case over here, we feel that the problem was a lack of communication between the government, local authorities and our community here, especially when there are people in the community who don't have access to any internet, so they would receive the news later than me and you understand? And that meant that people were not aware of the lockdown as soon as it kicked in. Of course, the community is devastated and shocked. There are still people in the community, still families who are still mourning.
He was our brother, and he was taken from us so sudden. He made people happy. He brought light. He was a beacon of light in the whole community, not just in our family. He brought light to people.